All right, everybody, welcome back. We're diving into digital transformation today.
Mm.
And, everyone loves to talk about digital transformation, but
Right.
how many companies actually pull it off? I mean, really,
Yeah.
it's not just about, buying a bunch of new software.
Nope.
It's about really changing how a company operates.
100%.
It's about the culture.
Yeah,
So how do you actually lead that kind of change? That's what we're digging into today.
absolutely.
And we're taking a peek at this playbook from a, top consulting group,
Hmm.
and they break this whole process down into 5 steps.
Okay.
So step 1 is understanding your company culture,
Right.
which sounds obvious, but they really use this phrase, observe, listen, and feel.
Okay.
And I thought that was interesting because it's kind of like you think you know your company culture,
Right.
but do you really?
You have to dig deeper.
Yes.
Exactly. What makes people tick?
Exactly. So what are your thoughts on that? Like, how do you really get at that deeper level of understanding?
I think this is where really understanding a company's history comes into play.
Okay.
It's not just about what's happening now, it's what got you here.
That makes sense.
What are the values, the traditions, even the unspoken rules?
Right.
Because those are all part of the DNA of the
Yeah.
organization.
Yeah, and you have to know what you're working with, right?
Exactly. And once you have a good understanding of that, then you can start thinking about
Okay.
what does the digital future look like for this specific company.
Yeah, because it's going to be different for every company.
Absolutely. There's no one-size-fits-all approach here.
Okay, so you've observed, you've listened, you've felt the company culture.
Right.
Now you've got to get everyone else on board with this digital future.
Exactly.
And this is where communication comes in.
huge.
Because I think this is where a lot of companies stumble.
Yeah.
People are afraid of change.
Yeah. They fear what they don't understand.
Exactly. So how do you communicate in a way that gets people excited instead of terrified?
I think it's about transparency and honesty.
Okay.
Be upfront about the challenges, but also really emphasize the positive impact this transformation will have.
Right, like how it's going to make everyone's jobs better, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And provide the training and support people need to thrive in this new environment.
Okay, so communication is key.
Absolutely.
But what about inclusion? Like, how do you get everyone involved?
Yeah, this is where you need to empower people to be part of the process.
Okay.
Make them feel heard, value their contributions.
So it's not just like the digital team doing their own thing.
Right, it's not a separate initiative, it's about integrating it into everything.
Gotcha.
And that's how you create real, lasting change.
That makes sense.
And then finally, and this is a big one,
Okay.
you have to celebrate both successes and failures.
Oh, that's interesting. Why failures?
Because digital transformation is all about experimentation.
Okay.
You're going to try things that don't work, and that's okay.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's about learning from those mistakes and adapting quickly.
Yeah, because if you're too afraid to fail, you're never going to innovate.
Exactly. So you need to create a culture where it's safe to take risks.
That's a good point.
And that's how you ultimately drive innovation and stay ahead of the curve.
So to recap, understand your culture, communicate a clear vision, get everyone involved,
Yeah.
and make it safe to experiment and learn from those experiments.
Perfectly said.
That's how you really lead digital transformation.
Absolutely. And one last thought I had.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about leaders inspiring their teams.
Right?
But I think it's important to remember that it goes both ways.
Oh, how so?
Leaders need to be open to being inspired by their teams as well.
That's a great point.
The people on the front lines often have the best ideas.
Yeah, they're seeing things from a different perspective.
Exactly. So create a culture of listening and learning from each other.
So it's really a two-way street.
Exactly. And that's how you create a truly successful digital transformation.
That's awesome. Thanks for taking a deep dive with us today.
My pleasure. Always enjoy it.
And thanks to all of you for listening. We'll catch you next time.